Teaching and assessing appropriate spotting skills is important knowledge for any challenge course practitioner. Every element is different and may require special spotting skills. Make sure all appropriate skills are taught and learned well by participants before moving into that activity. Let's listen in on how to teach basic spotting skills, including physical requirements for the spotter and communication.
We're going to learn about spotting, okay? Spotting stance. So first we have stance. That's where you're going to put your feet hip distance apart. So go ahead and put your feet hip distance apart. That gives you stability, right? So no matter if you were golfing or playing baseball or if you were a sumo wrestler, right? That's a good stance. What we're also going to do is put one foot in front of the other, just like so. Probably a good stance to forward and back movement, and we can go side to side, okay? Is that good? Also, you have your hands out in front. Your elbows are going to be bent like so, right? And then those will be in front of you so that you can kind of help somebody fall gently to the ground. Okay, good for that. So let me see you get into a good spotting stance. There we go. That's good spotting stance, okay? We also have stance, we have focus. So we want to think about where we're looking. So what are the parts of the body we want to protect the most? Head, neck, and back, right? So that's where I'm focusing when I'm looking. I don't want to be watching his feet. I want to be up here, and I want to be watching his back area, okay? So we have stance, we have focus, and now we have positioning. Positioning is we're moving with the person. So as they walk, we move with them so that we can spot them appropriately, okay? What do you go with that? So let me see you get in a good spotting stance. There you go. And then we have our focus is where? Head, neck, and back, right? That's what we're doing. And then positioning is just moving with the person. Good? Everybody set with that? Okay. We also have commands. And so that's when a climber wants to do an activity, they need to see that their spotters are ready for them. And there's communication that we have with that. So what I'll say is I'll say, spotters ready. And that's me asking you if you're ready for me to do an element. Okay? You're going to then get into position and you'll repeat, you'll sound back, spotters are ready. Okay? Would you go with that? So I'm the climber, you're the spotter. I say, spotters ready. You say?
Spotters are ready.
But I'm worried right now because you're not in spotting stance. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So as the climber, I'm going to take responsibility to make sure my spotters are there. Cool? So I'll try it again. So spotters ready.
Spotters are ready.
Good. And that way I know that you're set. Then I'm going to say I'm ready to do the activity. So I might say I'm ready to climb or I'm ready to swing. And then you'll say swing or climb away. Okay? So it's spotters ready, spotters are ready, ready to climb, climb away. And then I could do the activity. Okay? So we go with that. So let's try it. I'm the climber, you're the spotter. Spotters ready.
Spotters are ready.
Ready to climb.
Climb away.
Perfect, good. The other thing is that when everybody's on the element, you become your own best spotter. So if you're on an element and you start to fall, instead of being a hero or making people have to try to catch you or getting, what you want to do is be able to just step off of the element.
And remember, self-spotting is the #1 requirement. Stepping off, not falling off the element. Help your spotters by providing for your own safety. Now we'll take a look at spotting skills for various types of elements. First, we'll focus on traversing elements. In this traversing element, participants are trying to move across the swinging log. Spotting commands should be used when a participant is about to start an activity. Spotters should move with the participant while maintaining good stance, focus, and position. For some elements, participants may need to self-spot if all group members are on the activity. Assess your group's ability to self-spot and to spot others to help choose your activities appropriately. Now let's take a look at spotting swinging elements. Swinging elements use rope or other swinging objects such as tires or planks as part of the challenge. The role of the spotter is fairly limited, as it is difficult to spot a participant throughout a swing. Participants must be able to self-spot. A facilitator must determine readiness and physical ability of participants, as well as take into consideration the type of swing, such as does the rope have a loop or knots to aid the participants. Now we'll take a look at spotting for special types of elements that may involve climbing, diving, lifting, or falling. Some elements, such as the wall, the spider's web, or the truss fall or giant's finger, have special spotting requirements and techniques. Be sure to review proper operating procedures for those elements and teach appropriate spotting skills. You should constantly assess spotting skills. Monitor the group's spotting ability by noting how they are doing with self-spotting, physical requirements, communication, and spotting on all traversing, swinging, and special elements. Just as important as teaching and assessing appropriate spotting skills is the ability to manage the activity and understand local operating procedures for each element. The facilitator should introduce the activity and operating procedures clearly, explain the activity with any story and guidelines, and articulate the operating procedures for the element. A common operating procedure for traversing elements is known as 3 points of contact. Let's listen in.
So in this activity, when you're transitioning, you have what's called a minimum of 3 points of contact. So your hands equal a point of contact, and both your feet equal a point of contact. So the safest, right, is if I have 4 points of contact, because now I have both hands on something that's stable, like a pole or a rope or a person that I could transition to. But what I don't want to do is only have, like, if I think I can make it across to that cable by myself, even if I can, I don't want to try, because then I put myself at risk.
Part of introducing the activity is also allowing participants to practice, such as stepping on cables or ropes, or practice spotting techniques. You can ask the participants to summarize the activity goals and rules to make sure they understand what they're responsible to do. Another important facilitator skill is managing the solving of the problem. The role the facilitator takes will vary depending on the element and other grabs of the group. Safety is the main guiding factor in the role the facilitator takes and how he or she instructs or intervenes. Questions to keep in mind while facilitating the group's progress are: is the group adhering to appropriate procedures? Is the group adhering to individual and group safety agreements? And does the group have the skills to complete the task? Also, are all spotting techniques being practiced appropriately? It's also important to take the time necessary to process the activity. How a facilitator processes or debriefs an activity will depend on group goals, expected outcomes, and the experience of the facilitator. Some key considerations should be devoted to processing any safety infractions and how to improve upon them, and address the group and individual growth areas. Teaching and assessing appropriate spotting skills, as well as managing the activity and understanding local operating procedures, are essential skills for any thinking practitioner.